down at the meter no more. And how come he turned off TV and hang that sign on the door? We call and we call, how come? Say, hey, what could make a boy behave this way? Yeah.
My name is Shree. I go to Redmond High School and I'm 15 years old. I sing, play piano, and I used to be in band at school, but then I've just focused more on singing recently. Mostly, I look up to my mom. She's not like in the music field or anything, but she's super passionate about whatever she does, and I want that type of dedication when I'm focused on my art. Vocalpoint is a group of high school boys and girls that are selected by an audition process, and those who are selected get to do these these shows 2 times a year, one in the spring, one in the fall, and they're all based on 60s, 70s, 80s rock and other genres. I wouldn't say they're super racially diverse or anything, but they've definitely pushed for it. Initially, it was just this organization called the Northwest Boy Choir, and they did a lot of it was back in mid-1900s when they first started. And later, when Vocalpoint was introduced, they introduced girls to the organization, and it still wasn't incredibly diverse, but you can see these days Vocalpoint is definitely pushing for more diversity. But I feel just appealing to a wider range instead of this close circle you've been used to getting all your members from, and then expanding from that would definitely you'd see more interested people that were from different backgrounds, or different races or religions. First, I started doing Indian classical music when I was 3 years old, and then I joined the piano when I was 5, and around that time I'd start singing and playing the piano for more Western songs. And then I started taking school choir in 3rd grade, and since then I've been doing school choirs, and then I joined the Vocalpoint in 7th grade, and ever since then I've been singing. Well, I take this style of Indian classical music called Carnatic music, and it's a lot different from the Western type of music I'm used to singing. There's a lot of theory-based stuff, and lots of it's a lot more focused on theory and how well your ears perform when you're singing. I've found that learning that type of music has actually helped me a lot when I'm performing in Vocalpoint, because again, the Indian classical music is a lot more precise, and not precise in the sense that it sounds better, but there's a lot more notes than the general scale of Western music. So that's helped me I feel that's helped me grow a lot better into more Western types of music. A lot of the kids were more accustomed to listening to these types of songs because either their parents listened to it or their grandparents listened to it. And at first it was a little hard, but then the more and more I became accustomed to the music and accustomed to the group, it felt it became a lot easier. So I take Indian classical music and Vocalpoint at the same time, and it's a little challenging. There's definitely major differences that I have to switch in and out of when I'm in Vocalpoint versus when I'm taking Indian classical music. But overall, there's definitely some connect between them, and it's balanced each other out pretty well for the most part. I feel the biggest part of choir is the teamwork aspect, because it's not just about one person, it's about everyone has to blend in together, and they have to work together, otherwise it's not going to be a functional choir. So it's not just about how good you sound on your own, but it's about how good you sound with other people and how good you work with other people. And I feel that's the best part about being in a choir. For me, the biggest hurdles are probably just the whole teamwork thing, just getting used to being with a whole new set of people, because I live in Redmond now, and it's mostly Indian people and Asian people, and when I go in Vocalpoint, I was there was only one other Indian girl there apart from me, and that was I wouldn't say that it was typically an external she's Indian, she can't do she can't be part of this, but it's more internal, am I supposed to like be here? Am I supposed to be like friends with them? Can I do this? And then later you just like realize that none of that really matters when you're like trying to pursue something that you want to do. And I feel like getting past that's helped me like be a lot more like open and willing to like be part of the team. I just didn't feel like I could be like friends or like connect with anybody in like the early stages of Vocalpoint. But then you spend so much time with them and you just kind of like ignore every difference, and you're just like, hey, I've grown close to these people, I'm friends with them, I've sung with them, I've been on stage with them. Initially when I thought of singing, I'm like, oh, I'm just singing a song, and then later it's like storytelling. It's a lot more performance than I expected, and you're supposed to tell a story of the words you're singing, even if you're not connected to them at all. Like, this song could be the furthest from what you are, who you are, but you have to like connect with it in a way that the audience realizes that you're connected with the story, and they become more invested in your performance. So even though initially I didn't think that performance was such a big deal in singing, like now I realize that it's a lot more about like telling a story, and it helps with your performance so much more than I expected. The overall experience of Vocalpoint has been a lot better to me than school choir, and just like the amount of like workmanship and like artistry there is in Vocalpoint is like something that's super inspiring to me, but always kept me pushing to be better. Like in school choir, people are considering like, oh, it's just an elective, you choose this class, it's an easy A, there isn't much effort to put into it, and that like kind of brings the whole like spirit of like artistry down in school choir. But then in Vocalpoint, it's a highly like competitive, but also like super focused on teamwork and music and working with others, and like the whole like culmination of all that just is more appealing to me than school choir. So I think I'm sticking to Vocalpoint.